10 years ago, I wasn't that arsed. Now I'm like, I've actually got kids. I've got to like think about and like some are like the best people in the world.
Oh yeah.
Like literally the best people in the world, and some are like fucking
Dickheads.
absolute cocks. Yeah.
What, like HS Ticky Top? Have you watched that?
Yeah.
Oh, don't make me livid. Honest to
Emily.
God, don't make me livid. I will.
Do you feel like chemistry, Emily?
What the fuck? What?
Did you actually watch that program? What did you think of that program?
Livid.
Well, is it just because of the people in it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, I can't remember ever a world where that was like a normal reality.
No.
Like ever. Like, when did that become a thing? But I remember being a PC in my 20s, and honestly, I'd come across some like fucking weird people.
Yeah.
And some narcissists and some absolute vain people.
Of course, yeah.
And like, one of my good mates, Dale, was on Big Brother years ago.
Oh yeah.
Who's now a DJ and all that. And he's a proper nice lad. You know, really properly good lad. And that was probably like the most, like, we used to take the piss out of him a little bit for being a bit vain, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The weird thing about that programme, the weirdest thing that I thought was fucking hilarious was when he was there and Louis Theroux was coming round to like interview him. And his mum was telling him to clean up.
Mummy, you fucking little whinge bag. Honestly, don't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I hated it. It made me livid,
my God.
to be honest.
So funny. So funny. But that's the whole thing. It was like actually a serious thing, but it was like funny.
Yeah,
it was like
no, it was
ridiculous.
funny.
It was so ridiculous that it was funny.
I did laugh, to be fair. Like what? Like when they filmed him going, "Mummy," I was like, "No, I'm dead." What the fuck? But like even that other fella, you know, that like American one, and he showers Bird, and like he's acting dead nice to her, and then like as soon as he comes, he starts playing up.
Yeah, I found that weird when he was like, she did. I choose to protect my wife and kids at all costs, so they're not going to be in the documentary. And then the next minute he's like, oh yeah, she's chose to come on.
There she was.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, so you two married? He goes, yeah, we are married, but not in the eyes of the state because... And he's like, why is that then? And he's like, because obviously she'll just be liable to his money then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So he wants to not be able to take any
yeah,
cash.
Yeah. So if he left it
and he wants to take multiple women. He's like, yeah, you know, she's not allowed to do nothing, but I'm allowed multiple women. Oh, well, I don't think so, hon.
I know.
Swings both ways.
I know. We'll probably dive into this, to be fair, because it's an interesting topic. But I've been trying to get you on for ages, and I mean ages.
Oh, good.
Like, I think I even asked you in the first concept room.
Did you?
I think so, yeah.
I've got no memory.
But like 6 months ago, we moved in here, and it was like an absolute whirlwind.
Was it?
Yeah.
Where were you before?
Just around the corner, but like, It was not as good.
No.
It was not. Like, at the time, I thought it was great. And I got to a point where I was like, the business is just getting way too big. And then Nick, who was like letting me have the room, was like, thinking about selling the business, and that kind of put a seed in my mind to get out of there. And I had a 2-year plan in the business. I was working with Mark Waldron, like execute this 2-year plan. And then I rang him one day. I was like, look, I need to like condense this into like a shorter space of time. So we said a year, but it ended up being like 8 months. So like 2 years worth of work went into 8 months. And
how was it with Mark?
Good. It was good.
Because I obviously you do Andrea.
Yeah, it was good.
I couldn't imagine with Mark.
I feel like Andrea and Mark kind of supplement. Yeah, they supplement each other quite well.
I know what you mean.
So like with Andrea, I've done a little bit with Andrea, and I feel like with Andrea, she was very much like, let's get an Excel spreadsheet out, let's run numbers, let's do this. Very like money analytical. Yeah. Whereas Mark's kind of like military style, like make a list, get it done.
Yeah.
And with Mark, he didn't really like. If I said something to him like, "Oh, I've had a right fucking weekend of it. The kids have been up the wall," he'd like you make any sort of excuse, it kind of doesn't register with him.
Yeah, I know, obviously. Because he's so autistic.
Like his mind, it was like his mind can't process.
He's like, what do you mean? Get on with it, you stupid bastard.
Yeah, literally.
Well, as Andrew would be like, oh, love.
Yeah.
Shall I make you a cup of tea? Mark's like, okay, but what about the business?
Yeah. But over time, it became like, Like I got so much done because of that.
Yeah.
It was almost like a fear of like,
Mark's gonna batter me.
yeah.
That's funny.
It was like a fear of fuck. I've got a meeting with Mark on Thursday, and if I don't get the shit done, he's going to be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
What do you mean? Yeah. That's good though.
So
That's
over
the
the
goal.
course of time, we got so much done,
Yeah.
and then we got to a point with the content room where like it was going really, really well, and honestly, I would not have had the first content room without Mark.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
good.
I was doing Andrea's content in return for like doing some coaching, and then they got full, and like I was moving the content room, so it kind of just
Fizzled out.
Fizzled out a little bit. So, in all honesty, like to get to that point was unreal, and then to take it to this level, I've kind of just went and done it like off my own back, and then I work with someone else now to help me with some growth stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about it really. Like it was more just we just got so much done in that time, and like we went. Like one thing that was like really I learned a lot about was like quality of service. Like the quality of our service now is night and day compared to what it was. So that's been good. And if you'd have told me like even like 3 years ago when we started as a video editing business, so it was like
it was
I didn't expect it to ever get like this.
Yeah.
But where we are now compared to like where we were, it's like absolute.
Very
I
good.
would never have believed you.
Yeah.
But we kind of know each other through that like world of move/networking. And then at that point in time, I didn't have any network. I didn't know anyone. I was just kind of getting out there, putting myself out there and just kind of making friends really. And I've been meaning to get you on for ages and ages and ages. It never really sort of landed, but now it has.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're here.
We're
We're ready for action.
So I feel like a lot of people in our audiences will already know you are, but for anyone who might be watching this who doesn't know you are, who are you? What do you do? You're a woman of many different talents. So explain
Fingers
all.
and pies. Yeah. So I've got 3 businesses at the minute. I've got one which is called Think Wine, which is actually right here. Yeah. If you can see.
Kath has brought the Think Wine, which I'm going to be drinking today, by the way. Because
It is bank holiday, so, you know, it's fine. That's only a couple of the products. We've got big bottles as well, and we've got rosé as well. So, but Think Wine is predominantly, it's a low sugar, it's a low calorie, it's vegan, it's organic, and it's low sulfites. So it's as good for you as you can get without actually removing alcohol. Because, you know, that was not what I wanted to do. I just wanted the rest of the nasties. So it's way less of a hangover. And in a full bottle of Think, there's only 450 calories, while in your standard bottle of Prosecco, which is generally more often than not extra dry, they call it extra dry. You would think that meant dry, but it actually means high sugar. But an extra dry bottle of wine would have like maybe 800, 850 calories. So it's almost 50% off in terms of calories. So
not only is it healthier, you're not going to get fat in the process.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, unless you're down 10 bottles. But yeah, it's much better for you. It's just like a health conscious, cleaner wine, but it's also obviously, and I know I'm biased, but it's genuinely delicious. It's not like, you know, sometimes you think of it like a diet product and you think, oh, it's going to taste terrible, but it tastes delicious.
I can vouch.
Yeah, you can vouch, yeah. So that's one of them. Then I've got Social Nation, which is an influencer awards. Social Nation, which is an influencer marketing agency. And then I've got the National Influencer Awards, which is an influencer awards ceremony, I would say.
I love it. Some people ask me sometimes, how did you come up with the name for the concept room? And it was not deep in any way. It wasn't thought about. It was literally, we done content in a room.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it was a room full of content.
We made content in a room.
Yeah.
So with Think Wine, was it literally a case of like, how did you get into doing wine? It's because I like wine. Was it like that? Or?
I mean, kind of. So basically what happened was I'd already been working with influencers for years at this point, and we'd go to a lot of events. There was a lot of launch parties, a lot of openings of bars and restaurants. And back then I loved all that. Like now that I'm a bit older, like I'm tired, I don't want to go. But, you know, I used to love it. I'd be at the opening of an envelope. So
yeah.
I'd always get a glass of Prosecco, usually, sometimes cocktails, but usually Prosecco on arrival.
Love it.
And I just knew that I was gaining weight because I was drinking so much Prosecco. And I'm like, this is full of sugar and it tastes terrible. It's like sometimes you get that like real acidic, like at the back of your throat. So I was like, there's got to be a way to create a better for you Prosecco that people can have on arrival at these events.
Yeah.
So I mentioned it to some of my influencers at the time, and I was like, what do you think of this idea? Like, would you drink this? And they were like, oh my God, we back you to the hilt. We'd love that. We'd love to like be drinking it. We'd definitely post about it for you for free if you were giving us wine. So I was a bit like, right, okay. So if the influencers are on board and I see the return on investment that they're making for other brands, I knew I wanted a product because I could see at the time, it wasn't a saturated market. It's completely different now. But at that time, you'd pay an influencer £1,000 and that you'd get 50 grand back in your bank.
Wow.
So the return investment was mega.
It was a joke, yeah.
Yeah. And because I was witnessing this every day with all these brands that I was dealing with, I was like, I need my own brand. I need my own product. Not realising all the trouble that comes with having a product versus having a service. Because I can tell you from the perspective of someone with both, having a service is far easier than having a product.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I suppose a product is like more of like a commodity. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. Like, I mean, running a service-based business is hard work.
Absolutely hard.
It's hard work. And like I was just saying then, like the service delivery side of it, Mark was on me like a rash because of that. And sometimes there was like some like really sort of hard conversations to be had about all that stuff. Yeah. But it would help me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
But product wise, I suppose it is more of like a commodity than a service. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah. It's just the amount of things that can go wrong that are out of your control is just mad. Yeah. You know, when you're service, you control that service. You can train your staff to be on board with your mindset. You can make sure everything's resolved correctly. If you're running a service and you're buying in, like me, from Italy, you've got to deal with, firstly, the Italians, then you've got to deal with the shipping, then you've got to deal with whatever's going on in the world. Is there a war happening? You know, what's actually going on? Are we in the middle of COVID? People putting prices up, prices of fuel. Can it even get in the country? Then you've got to pay duty on it, which is like probably more expensive than the product itself. Then you've got breakages, damages, theft, loss. Then by the time you've actually got it in the country, you have to find a warehouse for it. Then if your warehouse messes you around, smashes anything, then you've got to get it shipped to the actual customer.
Oh my
God.
God.
How many of those can I actually control? And as a controlling human, that's not great for me. Because I'm like, what do you mean? You can't just do your job.
I think that's like, do you know what? It's actually hitting a emotional chord with me, that, because most people get into a business because they enjoy the thing that the business provides.
Exactly.
So like if you're like a coach, for example, you enjoy, you want to coach people, or if you're a creator, you want to create stuff. I enjoyed editing videos, so I started the video editing thing, and I just wanted to sit there and edit videos. Yeah. And then when you start running a business, you start realizing that all this stuff that extra, that like the actual thing that you got into it for is actually a small part of the business. A tiny
part, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the same with both sides of my business. So the other one, this Social Nation, which is the agency, it's exactly the same. Like, what I love is selling. But I never sell anymore because I'm too busy running the business.
Yeah, it's mad.
So it's like, yeah, you're right. You don't actually do the bit you love. I've put off for so long hiring a producer or a creator or a videographer, because like me spending an hour sitting there watching someone do a podcast, and we've launched 11 podcasts this year, which is amazing. Yeah, that's good.
We've done loads of social media content. We have content retainers, loads of stuff going on. We're working with bigger business now. My time is not best served sitting there watching someone do a podcast with someone, or watching someone create social media content. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, but I love it so much, and I love producing so much and doing it so much that I find it hard to kind of
let go.
Yeah,
no, it does.
I suppose there's like that element of control that you kind of like, this is my baby a little bit, and I love it so much that I don't want to give up that like element of control. But everyone who you speak to that I speak to that's a little bit ahead of me in business is like, everyone just gets to that point where you got to just...
You have to, yeah. Otherwise you can't grow. You stunt your own growth.
Exactly.
But what you have to just make sure is that, like, you get the perfect team. Yeah. And that's, you know, people always say to me, oh, Kath, she's brutal, you know, she just sacks you. You know, people come and go. Like, yeah, I do sack people, and also people leave. But usually they leave having been trained so well that they've been headhunted, or like they've been, you know, got a better paid job or whatever because of the training that they've had within our business. Yeah. But like generally, I do sack people because I think, you know, if you're not the right fit and you don't have the right mentality and you're not driven and you're not going to put effort in, then I will just get rid of you because it's my business. 100%. And if you can't get on board with I started my own business so that it could run the way I want it to run. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd work for someone else.
I totally agree.
So you've just got to make sure that the person's the right fit, and if not, drop it.
There's a great analogy about that. It's like, that I always think about. It's like, imagine a road that's being built and you're putting paving stones down in the road, but the road's never ending. Yeah. And you're only laying down your own paving stones. So once you get to the end of that cycle, where the paving stones aren't being laid anymore, people will go off and lay their own paving stones, or they'll just stay behind and stay on someone else's paving stone. But you're not going to stop me from putting my paving stones down. Yeah. And I always think about that. It's like, and businesses that we work with now, they don't want to put their own staff on social or LinkedIn. Yeah. And I'm like, I understand it from like a headhunting. Like my best staff, I don't want them to get headhunted by other companies. That's kind of like a thing. Yeah. I know
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah. And I understand why people don't, they want to hide the best talents.
You can't.
But the alternative to that is you could build so many strong personal brands within your business that they become assets to the business, and actually they become like,
I'd say that's exactly what we're great at. Yeah, like building people. Yeah, that everyone knows.
But there's a risk in that, in the sense that someone could come along and rob your talents, or they
and
go
usually
off and
they
do. Yeah,
because we are still a small business and we still can't pay the big bucks. So you know, if someone can come along who can, they go. Yeah. And it's just a shame because there is. I always think sometimes showing a bit of loyalty, like, could pay off in the end, you know, when, because at the end of the day, like, if the business sells, it's not like my staff wouldn't see, you know what I mean? Like, I'd make sure they were looked after.
It's hard to change someone's mindset when the salary depends on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's fine. Everyone's different. Yeah. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah. But you can sleep well at night knowing that your culture and your values have been upheld.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it. Yeah. I love that. We're on the same page with that. So originally, how did you get into is influencing the right word?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I'm not an influencer, but I got into that world.
I don't know, I think you've got a bit of influence around. Well, for someone like me, who's, again, I don't want to sound like this is like blowing smoke up your arse, because it kind of is.
It is. Blow smoke up my arse, go on.
It is and it isn't. So a few years back when we first got to know each other and became friends, like, I looked at your business and I was like, that's something to aspire to.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of gave me like a yardstick. Yeah. And when we were going to move, especially, 3 or 4 years ago when it was a lot different to what it is now, I looked at like the Liam Quirks of the world, yourself, the people who'd started in the same sort of position as me, who'd already done it, and got to a certain level, and I'm like, that's something to get to.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
And even I said, I think like one of the first conversations I had with Mark and Andrea was that. It was like, I see a blueprint to get there. And I don't think they do it anymore, but there's this thing called Move Elite, which was like a mastermind group of like, I think it was like £250,000 turnover to £1 million or something. It was something like that. Yeah. And I remember thinking, I want to get to that £500,000 turnover or £1 million turnover. And there was some people who were, and I was like, that's something to get to. And it kind of gave me that yardstick. So when you say an influencer to me is not someone who's like, the haters TikTok of the world. Well, maybe, obviously that is influence, but to me it's more like, are you able to influence like a positive action in someone.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's
Whether that's getting them from social into a business, or whether that's getting them to buy a product, or whether that's just inspiring them to do something different.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where I kind of, and even now to this day, I still look at other businesses and go, that's something to aspire to.
Yeah.
That's something to aspire to.
Yeah, yeah.
Not in like a competitive
same,
sort of way. It's just like, I think everyone can be successful.
Absolutely.
Like,
There's room for everyone.
Exactly.
Isn't there?
But to get to that level is like just inspiring. So
Yeah.
yeah. Bit of a clap on the back there.
So yeah, anyway, I got into it. So I've always worked in sales.
Yeah.
I did quite a bit of traveling when I was younger. So I spent like nearly 2 years in China, a year and a year and a half in America.
How old are you now? If you don't mind me asking.
36.
Oh, yeah. Similar age to me.
Yeah. So I did when I was young. I did quite a bit of traveling, like, and I got that kind of out my system.
Yeah.
And so I came home and I was like, I'm ready for a career now. So I ended up getting a job with Enterprise Rent a Car on their graduate program.
Nice.
I was one of the only girls that, like, there was a few girls, but it was very male dominated.
Was that done? I asked this question because I'm never really sure. Was that like is it because girls just didn't apply for that job, or was it?
I think probably.
Or was it just a male dominant industry generally?
I think anything to do with cars is probably a bit more, more men, whatever. I'm not sure what their background was with like doing things to get like women in. I don't know if they were doing very much at the time.
I know the banking system was like that as well.
Yeah.
And when I don't know if you know this, but when I left school, I was a trainee architect for 6 years.
Oh.
And the only women that worked in the company were like the receptionists.
Yeah.
And there was no real women
it's
in
mad,
there.
isn't it?
And it always baffled me because there was no actual barrier to entry there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was like a bias on the boss's part.
Yeah. You don't know.
But it was more just like, I don't think women generally just applied for them type of jobs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know what
I think
was.
it's likely to be a mix, isn't it? Like, yeah, it's cars, so men are just instantly more attracted to that. But then also, the bosses are men, and they might not see how a woman could do well or whatever, and they might not give enough chances. So
it's like when I
probably
take my kid. It's like I take me 1-year-old to nursery, and it's all women.
Yeah.
It's like, is it just because men don't apply?
Yeah.
Is it like a stereotype? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, anyway, in this particular role, it was full of men.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of girls, but I was always very competitive. I always had to be the best.
You competitive.
I know, yeah. But the funny thing is, like, in things that I'm not good at, I've got no competitive nature.
Really?
So, like, when you're in school and you're doing like things in school, like playing rounders or whatever, I just didn't care. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not competing because I'm not asked. But if I'm asked, I'm the most competitive person
Love
ever.
it.
So in this situation, obviously, I've gone in, I've got this graduate job, which is hard work because you have like 5 rounds of interviewing just to get on a scheme like that. And so I get on it and I'm like, right, okay, I'm going to be the best here. And so that's what I did. And it was just mad because obviously these men had never seen a girl do that.
Yeah.
And I was only young as well because I must have been 23, 24. And they were just like, what the hell? Like, how's this girl coming here and she's just every single month, smashing everyone out the park.
Wow.
So I did that. It was not a good business, though, to be honest. So, like, sorry, but it was too many hours for you would drive in for like, often it'd be 15, 16-hour days. And it was just very like, it was an American business. So it was very just, I don't know. In the end, I was like getting burnt out with it. And there was definitely difficulties. Like there was one boss who was horrible. I had a couple of great bosses, fantastic. There was one that was absolutely horrible. And when I got promoted under him, he was horrendous to me.
Really?
Yeah, like he left me out. He didn't invite me to like staff meals.
Oh,
he didn't want me to get the job basically because he already had in his mind who he wanted as his second in command. And because I got it, he was absolutely raging and he let me know about it. So in the end, I just left and they begged me to stay. Obviously, top seller, why would they want me gone? But I was like, absolutely not, I'm done with it, bye. So anyway, I moved then. I had another job in sales, which was like selling CIPD courses in Manchester. I don't know if you know what they are. It's like HR courses to like massive businesses like McDonald's and stuff like that. So again, I was very good at that, but I was commuting to Manchester for that, and it was really well paid, that role, for my age. I think it was like near enough, like 35, 40 grand. And because I was only young, like that was really good. But I was commuting to Manchester, which was just a pain. And so then someone posted on Twitter saying, like, it was one of the girls off Geordie Shore, and she'd said, I didn't have Twitter, by the way, but she'd posted saying, we're looking for the best salesperson in Liverpool. And my sister sent me that tweet. I was like, this is you. What is it? Like, why is she asking for this? Like, I wonder what she wants. She's a girl off Geordie Shore. So I was like, I wonder what she does want. Like, let's check it out. So I just went like snooping around, and then I ended up sending my CV in, and then I went and met this guy, and basically it was just a startup influencer agency.
Wow.
And his background was actually paparazzi. So he'd met all these, you know, like the Geordie Shore lot and the Towie lot and all that. He'd met them while he was papping them. And then they were basically saying, oh, we can't get an agency because we're not technically talent. At the time, agencies took you on if you were talented. Yeah. If you're a model, if you're a singer, if you're an actress. They weren't taking you on because you had 50,000 on TikTok, on Twitter. So he was like, there's scope for this, an agency for these talentless individuals. Let's do it.
Wow.
So we then set up an agency. So by the time I joined that agency, there was only like 3 of us there. Literally, it was tiny. It was in town in Liverpool.
And was this your business?
No.
Or was someone else's?
This is someone else's.
Oh, yeah.
So he'd put out a job ad saying,
oh my God,
come and apply for this.
And
I applied for it, and I was the 3rd person in the door
unbelievable.
of that tiny business. So it was like, it didn't exist yet. An influencer agency didn't exist.
It's so funny that, you know, because when you talk about like talent being loyal to yourself now, you done that journey yourself.
Yeah.
That's probably where them values actually come from originally, in the sense that you joined a team that was so small and watched something go from like someone that didn't even exist to this thing.
That was really amazing, to be honest, like growing that, because it went from our little agency that had 3 of us in to, like, by the time I'd left, there was like 20 odd people there. And do you know what? God. I would never have left. It's only that he screwed me over, but I would never have left because I loved it and I loved him. So, but anyway, in the end, I left and I started my own agency.
That's brilliant, that.
It's a good thing that I kind of got forced out, because that's what forced me to start my own business. Wow. I started it when I was 26.
Wow. So that's been so now, so going for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you speaking to me like that is very inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah, it's unreal, that. I mean, from your sister sending you a tweet to having a 10+ year business. And
it was wild.
Business.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So at that point when you went on your own, did you have any clients like?
Yeah, because of what he'd done to me, and we won't get into that, like, I'm over it now. Took me years. But, you know, for a long time I was very upset and very angry. But we won't touch on that bit. But, like, because of what he'd done to me, when I said to my clients, I'm leaving, that's it, me done, I didn't have the intention of setting up another business. I just was like, I'm done with you. Goodbye. You're not good for my mental health. So when I left that business, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I'd easily get a job. I was great. So I had no issues with me going on and getting a new job. But what happened was all my clients were phoning me going, where the hell have you gone? And I was like, oh, I'm leaving because of this. And they were like, wow, if he can do that to you, he can do that to us, to anyone. Like, there's no morals there, basically. Yeah. And so a lot of his clients just came with me. And I kind of got forced into starting that business because my influencer clients were like, Kath, you have to keep doing this. You have to look after us. Let's go. So I just set up on my own, and I had instant clients because of that.
Wow. That's amazing.
So I made money in that business, Social Nation, day one.
That's unreal.
There wasn't a minute that I wasn't profitable.
Wow.
Don't ask me about Think, because I didn't make money there for 5 years.
Wow. That's been going for
6 years now.
Unreal, that.
Yeah, and it never made a penny for 5.
Wow.
So it's 2 different things. One, day one, making money. The other one, 5 years later, still not.
I'm going to dive into the Think Wine thing because that's really interesting. But first, did you know that I actually worked for an agency at one point.
What, like an influencer agency?
Yeah, like a...
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it an influencer agency. It was more like a marketing agency which had influencers in it.
Okay.
And when I got in there, I was their social media manager, but really I realised quickly that it was just like a paid ads manager, essentially.
Yeah.
But I got to know like everything about the business. I was only there for like 2 months or so. But it was the year when Ekin-Su and Davide won Love Island.
Yeah.
And it was in Wilmslow. And I don't know if you've ever had any dealings in Wilmslow.
Yeah, a few times.
It's just outside of Manchester, but it's very influence heavy.
Yeah.
It's very like everyone lives in the same apartment block on the rooftop. You know, it's that
I know the vibe,
it's that Instagram lifestyle. So there was that kind of person working there, and then there was like a girl that used to sell followers on Instagram. So which is not ideal.
Yeah.
So you could buy like 10,000 followers or 50,000 followers, and it was just like. I don't know. I was just like, this is. I didn't say anything at the time because it wasn't really my business, but she was beautiful, like beautiful looking model type.
Yeah.
You know, you could tell that she like just like swooned all the men because like that's what it was.
He was swindling them.
Yeah. But what I realised, and I don't know if this works the same way with what you do, but what I realised was when the likes of Love Island finished, or A Cycle of Towie had finished, or whatever it was would finish, the winners would get basically bid on for work. So they'd have all these like sponsorship opportunities for them, and then they'd go and like offer them through agents. Yeah. Like the type of work, and then they'd pick the agency based on to represent them based on
what they've got. Yeah.
And the bigger picture media which I worked for actually got something with Molly May, Ekin-Su, Davide at the time, and I was like, "That's fucking." It was mad, honestly. Yeah. And then they'd come in the office sometimes. It was just mad. Yeah. But Tom Curlew, who was like the owner of it, he was mates with like I don't know the names. The other twins that are on Coronation Street and all them. It was all them. It was like private jet around, and I got to know that industry quite well, and I think that's what was the turning point actually. Because I was running the video editing thing for like 2 years, and I think that was the point when I was like, I could do this, but a little better. Yeah. Like I could do something along the lines of content, social media, but do it in a way which is not necessarily with influencers as such, but I could just do it slightly better. Yeah. In terms of like the model of which they manage, and I think again. I wasn't not slacking that business off. They were a really good, profitable company. Yeah. But for me, it was just like it was a model which I thought I wouldn't do it this way. Yeah. If it was me. Yeah. And I think a lot of self-employed business owners actually do that. They just go, do you know what? I don't mind doing this. I actually quite like doing this, but I think I could do it better. So they end up trying to do something themselves. Yeah. Which is crazy. And then I remember vividly one day. Like driving back, it was like past Manchester Airport, so it's a good hour drive there, hour drive back. And I remember driving back one day and I was stuck in traffic. I remember sitting there going, Becky was pregnant with Harry at the time. It was like over 5 years ago. Harry's 5 now, and I'm like,
God, that's funny because I remember when we first met, he was an actual baby.
Yeah. Fucking 5, I can't believe it. And then Charlie's 1. But Harry, like, I remember sitting there and I was like, I've got to be a little bit closer to home. Yeah. I was like, I can't just be stuck in traffic at 5 o'clock on a Friday. No, yeah. I need to be at home. Yeah. And I remember like starting it out, and I was in the spare room, and I remember being on Zoom calls, dealing with people. People would send us videos, we'd edit them, send them back. Yeah. And I remember this like big pile of baby stuff building up in the background, and you could literally see it in the Zoom call. And I was like, this is just no good. This has to change. Yeah. And that was kind of the nucleus of concept room. Yeah. But I love them type of origin stories because it's almost always a case where you've done something, you've enjoyed it, something bad's happened, then something's been born out of the born from it. Yeah. And then it's become a real success. So well done.
Thank you.
So another thing I'm really interested in is like when you start a business, Peter Russell, who's my first ever business coach, who was originally one of my PT clients when I was a PT.
Okay.
Multi-millionaire, he had like 400 staff, made his money in, I think it was recruitment.
Nice.
But he as Russell said, he bought out Burton Manor. Like, like his offices are a joke. It's
Fab.
but he's in his late 70s now.
Yeah.
And at the time, he was about late 60s. And I remember PTing him one day, and I was coming to this like crossroads where I was kind of like thinking about what to do with my career in life, and didn't know where I was single, going out all the time. I didn't really know what to do. And I said, one day I turned around and said, Peter, I need some coach. And he was doing career coaching.
Yeah.
And he passed the business to his son, Ben.
Okay.
And Peter started doing like, he was still in the business, but he was doing like some like career coaching and stuff. And I was like, can I have some coaching off yet? And he was like, yeah. So I went down, massive office, proper like old school, you know, big office with a couch in and everything. Yeah. And he said to me one day, he was like, big ideas are big in your imagination, but really small in reality. Yeah. And I never got it. I tell this story to everyone. I never understood what that meant for ages. And over time, I started realising that when you have these ideas in your mind, like you probably had with Think Wine, it's like, fucking hell, this could be amazing. Like this big imaginative thing, want to change the wine industry or want to change the world forever. Yeah. And then you get into it and it's register a business name. Yeah. Become a limited company. Yeah. Filling out this tedious form. Yeah. And it's like this big imaginative thing becomes this like tiny mundane task. Yeah.
And you're one of 10 gazillion businesses.
Yeah. Literally. And you're
so it's everything
and
to you,
you're fighting
and it's nothing
for
to
every
anyone else.
scrap. And then every month that goes by, you're like, red. And I've been there myself. It's like, I'm spewing money here. Yeah. I'm fucking spewing money. What am I doing? And then no one else can really understand it. Like, why are you doing this when you're making money elsewhere and this and that? And you're like, I need to like, I know this will work. Yeah. I know this will work. Yeah. Yeah. How do you think, like, and there's definitely an element when you become business owner of like delaying that gratification for a long time. Yes. So it's like, you have to like put the work in, graft, fail, get a little win, fail, little win again. Yeah. And then it's just constantly that cycle over and over. And most people either don't understand it, try it and go, fuck this shit, it's not for me. Can't handle the stress of it. And I think it takes a certain like type of person to actually deal with that. So I suppose my question off the back of that is like, how do you deal with that over a 5-year period where you're constantly losing money, it's constantly stressful, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's actually kind of starting to work now. And all them people who were like in that time were going, are you sure this is going to work? Yeah. Is it, you know? And sometimes it's with the best intentions. Yeah. Sometimes people are saying that, and then they're not saying it like nastily. No. They're saying that like because they're worried about you. Yeah, of course. Like me mum the whole time. My mum all the time, she's constantly like, you sure you just don't want to go and get a job? Yeah. Even to this day? Yeah. No.
I know. I don't know if like, I've just been diagnosed ADHD. I always kind of knew that I had it because I could tell by my behaviours and the way my brain worked. But I never needed to get a diagnosis because I just thought, well, whatever, it's a superpower. Yeah.
Should just be the way you are.
I should, yeah. But the older I've got, the more I've thought maybe I need some medication because maybe I need to calm down a bit because I am just born that way. Like, I don't sleep at night until I've done everything. Like, I will work till 11, 12 every night because I want to do it. I want to make money. I want to see it work. Like, I'm obsessed. I'm addicted. You know, I just can't help it. Obviously, because of with ADHD being a dopamine thing, for me, it's like I'm chasing them dopamine hits. So, like, if I can possibly get a hit at 11 p.m. by winning a deal or whatever, then I'm just going to do it. So I don't switch off. So it's not healthy, really. It's not good. And I could do with calming down a little bit. But I think for me, I'm definitely born different.
Do you think there's do you think that takes like the risk aversion out of it? Like,
well, I don't. I've made so many mistakes because I'm so risky in the way I behave. You know, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm so, you know, I'm impulsive. I don't think enough. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Come on, let's go. I'm so fast paced.
So it's a gift and a curse, I don't know.
It's exactly that. And so sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. But for me, I was definitely born with an element of just like, I'm gonna not give up. I don't give up. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna chase those hits, and I'm very, I think, resilient as well. I think some of the things I've been through in the past few years have been mad, and I think, one hit on its own is okay. You can get back up, and even another hit is okay. But I had like 4 big hits in a row. And it was like, there was not even a recovery period between each. So it was like, bam. And then I'm trying to recover and get back up, but bam again. So knock me down again. And then I'm trying to go again, and then bam again. So it was like 4 real big hitters in a row. And that really knocked me for 6. Yeah. And that made me start looking into my personality more and being like, I need to understand myself better. Yeah. So that I can, control my mental health and make sure I'm fine.
You still you taking action steps now to do more mindful stuff maybe?
Absolutely, yeah. I've started within the last year doing all types of, I do Muay Thai now.
Do you? Nice.
I try to have no phone in the room, past a certain time. I'll put my phone away.
Yeah.
I'm making more actual steps to try and have a bit more of a balance in my life, because obviously I've got no kids and I'm 36, so I'm pushing the boat out, but really that's because of the business. Yeah. It's like, how do I have time to have a kid?
I've actually contemplated a lot of this stuff myself, in the sense that I think I watched it's funny you say about the tweet, right? Because I remember before COVID I was kind of thinking about doing some video stuff and thinking about getting into it and doing some content stuff. And then I remember at the start of COVID, I was sitting there and I was just scrolling through Twitter, and I seen this tweet, and it was like, there's so much value in this video from Casey Neistat. Never heard of Casey Neistat before. No.
Who is that?
He's got so he's this film creator. But he creates films on YouTube. He's got 20 million YouTube subs. I'd never heard of him. Yeah. Still, people haven't heard of him now.
Yeah, I haven't.
And it was it literally, the tweet wrote, "There's so much value in this video from Casey Neistat. Everyone should watch it." So I clicked there, and the video's called Fat and Lazy. So I started watching it, and I was completely hooked on this video. It's a 10-minute video, and it wasn't about being fat and lazy. It was about time management and procrastination. And the way he'd filmed it and the way he'd told that story was mind-blowing. So I went down this massive rabbit hole on YouTube around Casey Neistat and his storytelling techniques, and I was like, this is unreal. And then I started researching how to shoot things from different angles, this and that. Anyway, fast forward, time went on, we started doing the video stuff, and that kind of got me into it. And then obviously had a baby in that process, had a baby in COVID, lockdown baby. Just, standard stereotypical thing. Yeah. Running the business, coming out of COVID, trying to navigate where I should go back to doing what I was doing, go all in on this thing, have a baby, having a conversation with Becky about going and spending 10 grand on camera kit when a baby was coming, all that kind of stuff. Not easy conversations, not easy things to do. And I was in that process, it's the 4 most stressful things are running a business, having a baby, moving house, and divorce.
Yeah. You hit them all.
Basically. There's been times where me and Becky could have literally got divorced. Yeah. We're not married, but we could have split up. We're okay now. Yeah. Everything's good now.
Good. Good.
But it's one of them where all them things were happening. Yeah. And I was and then as time went on, you start doing a bit of soul searching and stuff. And I started reading loads of business owners were getting diagnosed with ADHD. And I often wondered have I got ADHD? Because I'm just actively choosing to take on these hyper stressful things. Yeah. I'm actively choosing it.
Same. Why do we do it?
I'm actively choosing it. To the normal person, you can't comprehend this thing that we do. It's still to this day, I've not been diagnosed, so I don't know. And I think there is this thing now where people self-diagnose themselves with ADHD.
Yeah, I know. And for a while I was thinking, am I doing that?
It's only actually two.
But to me, it's not it's not cool to
It's
have
only
anything.
actually 2 to 4% of men and women that have ADHD.
Is it?
Actually, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, something like that. But
Yeah. I mean, it's hard.
But actually, to the average person, I think I am a bit more ADHD. And genuinely,
Yeah.
not that I'm not self-diagnosed myself.
Yeah.
But
I mean, to
would
get
not
a
surprise me if it
diagnosis, you need to see 3 psychiatrists.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like a hard road, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
And that's why for years I thought, oh, who cares, even if I am? And it doesn't matter because it's helping me clearly in business. But then I think when you do hit that like roadblock and you think, wow, like I need a bit of help here, like I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I still don't know now if I'll go on the medication or not, but I just wanted to have the option.
What's the benefits of the medication? Just to
Well,
calm your nervous system a little bit?
Exactly that. It's like you'll calm your nervous system and you'll it's like supposedly it quietens like the noise of your brain. So like I ping awake every single morning at 5 a.m. And it's not like I'm there going, woo, I want to be part of the 5 a.m. club. Woo, I'm going to go to the gym at 5 a.m.
Jump in a nice
like,
bath.
There's just no way. I'm not that way inclined. But my brain wakes up at 5 a.m. thinking of business. And I'm like, if I could switch that off and get a little extra hour, that'd be nice. I can just wake up at 6. Or if I can just somehow stop chasing these dopamine rushes way into the night and just switch off, go to sleep, be present in the moment, I'll enjoy my life more. Yeah.
I have noticed on socials seeing you like do more experiences and stuff lately.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've been actively. So this year I'm getting married. And because last year was so awful for me, it really was, with this whole like, because there's this thing called ADHD burnout. And that's basically what I've hit.
Yeah.
And when you read about it, I was like, okay, that's exactly what I've had. And so I started like taking steps to try and obviously recover from that. And so I was like, this is, I've been working now solidly like full time, 16-hour days for at least 15 years.
Yeah.
And I'm getting married this year and I just want to enjoy this year. I want to go on. Like I've already been to Tenerife, I've been to France, I've been to Italy, I'm going to Magaluf, I'm going to Coachella in LA, and then I'm getting married in Italy. Like it's literally a year of just traveling and fun. And obviously I'll still work in between that, but I've made that decision that, well, no, so what? I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah. Do you know Nicola Graham?
Yes.
She's an online coach. She's super on it. She started a podcast here.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I've definitely got her on.
And yeah, I might introduce you because you two would be great to do a podcast together.
Yeah.
She talks about this quite a lot. She's in her early 40s now. And she talks about going through seasons in your life. And like sometimes it's work heavy. And sometimes it's life heavy.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's family heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's okay. But when we try and like answer every email within 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm the worst for that.
We try and like...
It's because I think I'll forget if I don't.
Yeah. If our phone goes off, we immediately look at it and distract ourselves. And when we look back to even 15 years ago, you might have had a computer with only emails on.
Yeah.
And you'd have to send a letter off.
Or a phone with just texts.
Yeah, like a landline phone. And in your office, you might send a letter off. It might take 5 days to come back, but everything's still got done.
Yeah, yeah.
But
exactly.
now there's like this immediacy and rush to everything.
Yeah.
And it can't be good for your brain to like work and process like that.
No.
And if you look at my Trello board, honest to God, it's an absolute fucking shit show.
Yeah.
But to me, it makes sense.
Yeah.
To no one else, it would.
Yeah.
If you looked at it, it wouldn't make sense. But
I'm like that
to
as
me,
well.
it would. And she talks about it in like seasons of life, and I've realised it was like I went to Barcelona last week, and it was just like in the morning, was just like kind of sitting there,
chilling with a coffee. Great.
Answered a few emails on my phone, but I wasn't like in any desperate need to for someone to get back to me. Had a coffee, had a few pints in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Went out, had a nice walk through the town. It was just dead nice,
isn't it?
Yeah, it was just dead nice to just focus that time. No kids, just me and Beth.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where like we take the kids out and we switch off that way. And there's other times like today where I've just got to, you know what? My Trello board's fucking huge. I just can't afford to have the day off.
Yeah.
Like I just can't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's Good Friday today.
I'm not having the day off today either.
Exactly.
But then most of the world is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, oh, I wish I could literally do that.
Yeah. And then Fran from Man Robert says this as well. Like, she says, I love them guys. They're super fucking on it and aggressive with business. And she says, like, they're kind of building something to escape it longer term.
Yeah.
So, like, you know,
Working hard now
we're
to
in
not
our
have to work
we're in our
hard
mid to late
future.
30s.
Yeah.
In 10 years' time, we'll be in a different season of our life. And I might want to sell the business.
Yeah.
I have no intention to sell the business now. I'm building something that I love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at some point I might go, do you know what? I want to have a few years off.
I'm very open to selling my businesses.
Yeah, but imagine being like sort of in your mid-40s, youngish kids,
Yeah.
and being able to just take 2 years out
Yeah,
and just go, do you know
fantastic,
what? I'd
wouldn't
love to just go to anywhere I want.
Yeah.
And just have enough money to
Take my family to Thailand for
yeah,
a year.
yeah. It'd be,
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's how I've always thought. I've always thought, work hard now to retire young.
yeah.
I don't know that I could ever fully retire.
I don't think it's in my psyche.
Yeah.
And I think when if I look back to all the most challenging times of my life, it was always when I didn't have that much like sort of purpose. I know that sounds a bit woo, and it doesn't tend to be. But all the times where I've not had like a thing to get out of bed for in the morning, or not had that intention of like working really hard on something.
Yeah.
All the best times that I've ever had have always been when I've had the fucking purpose and drive behind me. Whereas the times when I've took my foot off the gas a little bit, it's been when I've been actually the most miserable.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
That's being quite candid.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Thanks for being so candid though. That's like, no, seriously, like it's not, sometimes it's not that easy to be that open about topics like that, but so thank you for that. So I always think, do you know what? It's April now, and I always think we're still in this, like, my brain still goes, we're still in the first part of the year, but we're actually not. We're in the second quarter
Q2.
now. Q2 now, yeah.
Q2? How?
So one thing that I talk about all the time is one of my favourite ever films, Jerry Maguire.
Oh, yeah.
The one with Tom Cruise.
I haven't seen that.
Okay.
But I know of it,
so you don't need to see it, but it's probably in my top 3 films ever.
Okay.
Right, it'd be right
Should
up
I
your,
watch it?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay.
It's right. It'd be right up your street.
Okay,
if you like doing what we do, yeah.
Yeah.
So he plays this like sports agent who represents like American footballers, and his client is like a really cool American footballer. And at the start of the film, he's like, it's like a romantic comedy actually. He gets really like fed up with all like the sleazy sports agents and the sleazy sales tactics that they're using, and you know, getting one over on each other and this and that. So he goes home and he hashes out his mission statement, and he like, you know, stays up all night drinking coffee and like opens up his laptop, bam, 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 like types of this 20-page mission, and he goes in the next day and he thinks he's going to revolutionise everything. Yeah. And he makes this big grand speech in front of everyone, and no one listens, apart from Renée Zellweger, who's like his love interest in it. Yeah. And I always, so when Charles was born, I had that same thing where he was up one night, he didn't sleep very well, and I just cracked open a Google Doc and I just basically brain dumped everything. Yeah. Like probably ADHD positive brain was just brain dumping everything down. And it didn't really make much logical sense in terms of how I wrote it. It was just everything that I thought about the business. And one thing that like I came across was like, and my thought process was like, what makes everyone that we work with like get great results? Like, what's the common denominator? And actually it was like, the bigger the ideas that they had, the better the results they had. Yeah. So I'm obsessed with big ideas because everything.
Well, Think was a big idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I didn't have a clue what I was getting myself in for.
Really?
Day one. No.
Would you start it again now if you knew?
I'm older. You know,
a bit more seasoned.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't at this age, but yeah, if I was younger again, then I probably
The wine
would.
business does sound like quite enticing to me because I do love a wine.
Yeah.
Has got a bit more seasoned.
Yeah, same, I do as well. And again, this isn't a good thing, but obviously having ADHD, one of the only things that chills me out is to have a glass of wine. And I don't need to like overindulge and down bottles, but it's like, if I have that one glass of wine, I'll be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I won't reply to that email.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I won't. You know what I mean? It's like, so for me, it's very much like a pleasure, but people can take it too far, obviously.
Yeah, I used to train Natasha Hamilton years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Petina and David Lloyd years ago. And we became quite good friends. And I think his name was Riyadh, his ex-fella. They used to go to like public events and stuff like that. And I'd used to like tag on to them and just like go to them. And it was a kind of that same vibe as what you were describing before of like, you know, there's a champagne on trays. And I'd always taste them and be like, oh, like, thanks, but not for me. And that's what kind of got me into like them sort of circles of thinking I could do something a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? But with these big ideas, like, it fascinates me because the first question I always ask clients now is like, what's your big idea?
Yeah.
Like, what is the big idea for any business to get into? And we're not like in the first part of the year anymore.
No.
And obviously you've got some big ideas.
Yeah.
And I think everyone who knows me and you would know that you've got big ideas. But when you think about like going into Q2 and the rest of the year, and even into next year, what are the big plans for Kath, Think Wine? And
well, to be honest with you, this is probably the first year that the big ideas are not so big because I'm purposely trying to enjoy my year of getting married, my year of Hindu. Don't get me wrong, look, consistency is key.
Yeah.
And I really believe that. Putting one foot in front of the other, even when the shit hit the fan, getting up and going. I've never in my life spent a day in bed and like, you know, with like, and don't get me wrong, I've come up against it in terms of like depression, anxiety, whatever. There's not a day of my life, apart from with a hangover, that's been spent in bed. I will get out that bed no matter what. I'll put my one foot in front of the other, no matter what, and I'll show up no matter what. Consistency is key. So even throughout this period, of course, we've still got a few like financial targets. We've still got a few like, well, I want that venue and I want this venue, and we want to launch a new product. So we're still putting one foot in front of the other. But I'm not going mental this year because I'm making that purposeful decision to no, this year you're slowing down a bit. This year you're going to really enjoy. This year you're going to be present. You're going to be in the moment. So actually, it's probably the first year that I haven't had any big mad ideas.
I love that. Do you know what? I suppose that ties into like the seasons of life sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole. You know, sometimes you will have to go hard on work, and sometimes you can focus on your life more. And do you know what? Fair fucking play.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to navigate that balance. Because everyone like comes to me sometimes and like. They're like, oh, do you know what? You're smashing it. You look like you're doing so well. Like, things are going amazing.
People say it to me all the time.
My life is utter chaos.
Same. That's what I say. Because people will always say to me, oh, Kath, you're smashing it. I'm like, am I? What do you mean? It's chaos. Live in this brain. It's chaos.
Yeah.
And it's like...
You would not swap your life for man. Like, most people would not swap their life for man.
I think that.
But actually, one thing Pete used to say to me, and I'm eternally grateful for Peter, to be fair. Like, I love that man. He's an older guy now. I haven't seen him for about a year, so I need to go and see him. My mind's gone blank.
What did he tell you? You were saying he said something. You said to him.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, like so
brain.
when you feel like challenges or anxiety or you know things getting on top or whatever it is, it sounds really woo woo, but gratefulness and gratitude is absolutely key.
Absolutely.
And I used to say to him like, why so? And he used to say to me, you can't feel anxiety and gratefulness at the same time.
Oh, really?
So when you're in a state of being
grateful,
when you're feeling grateful and gratitude and saying, do you know what, I'm so thankful for my life. I'm so thankful for the business I've got. I'm in such a great position. And you're thinking in that sense, the anxiety, if you can't run at the same time, the two parts of your brain can't run at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you're feeling anxious, you're kind of like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Like the mindset is, I fucking hate this role. Like, you get a bit cranky at home.
Yeah.
You might snap at your partner. Like the kids are getting a bit of a rough time of it because you're like in this state, in this mindset of like everything's going wrong, everything's bad, everything's negative.
Yeah.
But actually, if you put yourself in a state of this is a challenging day, but overall,
it's a good day.
It's a good day. Sunny days are good days, rainy days are bad days. But it's just days.
Yeah.
They're all just days.
It's true. Yeah.
And yeah, he kind of like he kind of drilled it into me. So every time I feel like that now, I'm always just like,
Do you think that you're like a naturally glass half empty person that has forced yourself to be a glass half full, or do you think you're naturally glass half full? And you know,
if you'd asked me this 10 years ago, I would have said I'm a bit of a cynic who's trying to be a bit more positive.
right? Yeah,
If you ask me now, I get over stuff really quick.
yeah,
So if something goes wrong, like 10 years ago when I was a PT and transitioned into this, I was literally, if something would go wrong, I would snap at people. I wasn't the
Yeah.
person to be around. I was a bit more like a hurricane.
yeah,
Ask me now. I think kids are partly to do with this because you've got to be a bit more patient. I think it's like very much like if something goes wrong, okay, how do we deal with it?
yeah.
Tomorrow it'll be done.
I'm the opposite, I think. So I think naturally I was born glass half full. I was the most positive person, resilient as anything. Nothing could get me down. And then because of all the bad things that have happened in business, it's like I've got a bit of PTSD from it. It's like sometimes I live in fear. So like if a really good thing happens, which obviously it does because you're like that, I know there's a low coming.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to train my brain to be the way I once was, which was naturally positive, never feeling anxiety. All the anxiety or sadness I've ever felt it's never been like for nothing.
Yeah.
It's been because something's happened.
Yeah.
So I don't have feelings of things unless things happen.
Yeah. Going to do a bit of a reframe with you here. I would suggest that from someone like me, looking at someone like you, who understands the process that you've been through, and even though our journeys are slightly different, kind of similar in the sense of like where we've came from,
Yeah.
good families, good people around us, generally, in
Yeah.
our personal life.
Yeah.
And similar trajectories in business. I think you fucking smashed it,
Thank you. That's
actually,
very kind.
to be fair. And actually, when I look at someone like yourself, and again, I don't want this to sound like a blowing smoke exercise again, but actually, it's very inspiring to see that because people do try to fuck you. And
No,
there's a
they
lot
do.
of people out there that are fuckers and
They are.
they're trying to get ahead and it's dog eat dog. And I literally, I don't think you can put, and I was speaking to Fran and Dave, Man Roberts about this, you cannot put a price on just being a good fucking person.
I so agree.
You
Why
cannot-
can't
you
more
just-
people
you
just
just
be
can't,
a good
like,
human?
Like, people might not like me,
Yeah.
and I accept that.
Yeah, same.
You can't be liked by everyone. People might not like our service, but one thing people will never ever say about me is that I fucked them over,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Even if I make mistakes, I'll own it.
Yeah.
To the point where in our mission statements and in our business statements, we say our core values are simplicity, so we keep everything as simple as humanly possible, meaningful relationships, so everyone who works with us is not just a number on a P&L
Yeah,
sheet.
yeah. You
We
have
have
a good
friendships with them, good relationships with them, and personal ownership. So not everything is our fault, but it's our responsibility.
Absolutely.
So we own it, we take it on, and we action it as best we can.
We're the same, yeah.
And I just try to just do good by people. Like, and that sounds, I don't want to sound like preachy at all because I'm genuinely not. Because someone could come along and fuck me today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you just can't put the price on just being a good person, having like good people around you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So even when I'm hiring now, like, I told one guy last week and a girl last week, I said, I don't want you to send me a CV. I'm not going to read it.
Yeah.
I want you to fucking just send me a little bit of your work, come down, and we'll go to Nando's. I'll take you for a Nando's.
The more you talk, the more I'm thinking ADHD.
Yeah, I was like, I'll take you for a
I
Nando's.
can't possibly read a CV.
And you have a conversation. I bought this lad who's like 21 in Nando's, who's like wants to be a content creator, and I'm like, nice lad. You know what I mean? And I might end up working with him. But I'd rather that and have that good relationship with him
Yeah.
than just hire someone based on a CV that has just got out of uni or whatever, and he comes in a certain shirt and tie. It's just not what I need.
Yeah.
So I don't think like there's a right and wrong way of doing any of it. But when I see, like, for me, like when I seen like the Liam Quirks of the world, the Kath Jones of the world, the other people who,
Yeah.
you know, like done these things
Grown, yeah.
and achieved these things in business and in their personal life, and knowing the fucking hits that you've got to take along the way,
Yeah.
I just respect it, me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You know, sometimes shitty things happen,
They do.
and you just got to. And I accept that.
Yeah.
But what I won't accept is fucking shitty people being around me.
Yeah. Yeah. Same now.
Yeah.
Same. Anyone with negative energy, negative vibes. That's it. No, I'm not interested.
Yeah. So, for anyone who wants to get hold of something plan,
Yeah.
or anyone who wants help with some social media influencing,
Yeah.
or some product placement influencing, or whatever it is you offer to people, what's the best place they can get in contact with you, or what's the process that they go through?
Yeah. So for Think Wine,
There's wine in a can as well.
Yeah.
It's actually wine.
That's amazing for festivals and stuff. And actually, we're about to launch Liverpool cans.
Really?
So it's got like the Liver building on, it's got the cathedrals on, they're really cute. And then the other design is like, you know, the scene from the Beatles where they're walking across Abbey Road?
Yeah.
It's like that on a can. So it's going to be gorge. Because we're a proud Liverpool brand.
I love it.
So we're launching them this year. So that'll be fun. But yeah, if you wanted to buy us, I would recommend the website, which is www.thinkwinegroup.co.uk. We sell predominantly there. We are in a lot of like independent wine shops. So especially if you're in the Northwest, like there's loads of independent wine shops that you could find us in. We're not in any like supermarkets or as of yet. We would like that, but you know, it's got to be the right one. I wouldn't just be going in Asda.
Yeah.
It would be Waitrose, it would be Ocado, it would be something that really fits.
Yeah.
And you know, it's got to work for me as well. It can't just be where I'm losing money to get on your shelf.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to put the business under that stress. No. So yeah, if you follow us on Instagram, that would be very amazing, at Think Wine Group. And also you can get it in a lot of local venues. You know, we're in the ACC Arena, we're in the Philharmonic Hall, we're in Castle Street Town. I was like, there's so many places in the area that you'd be able to go in and order a glass of Think Wine. And even if your local doesn't have Think Wine, if you ask them for it, that would be so helpful to us, because then they'd be like, Think Wine, what's that? Let's go and look. Let's see if we can buy it. But yeah, so that's that. And then for Social Nation, or, you know, the National Influencer Awards, website www.wersn.com, www.nationalinfluencerawards.co.uk. And yeah, so that's how you get in touch, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.
Very exciting times. Kath, first time you've been on the podcast, and hopefully won't be the last.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate this sort of candidness and honesty.
Yeah. Always.
I appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
Genuinely.
You too. You're also smashing it.
Well,
you are. See,
with a pinch of chaos.
Yeah, same though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's cool, but it's chaos.
Yeah. Good.
I actually think to myself sometimes, would I actually swap it? Like, if I had the choice now, would I swap it?
Yeah.
And the answer is probably no, because I can swap it at any point.
Of course, you've got choice.
And my ego's
got
not,
options.
honestly, my ego's not that big that if everything went tits up, I'd go and retrain and be a plumber, or I'd go and retrain and do something else.
I might do that, be a plumber. I bet they make a lot of money.
Well, when AI influencers take over,
Oh yeah, I'd be one of them, defo. Just like wear the suits and be like, hey. Yeah.
Oh, I'd imagine. I imagine. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Bye.